Reinvest! 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 Reinvest!
President Engstrom, I am a student at the University of Montana. I would like to ask the UN Foundation to divest from fossil fuels and invest in local sustainable businesses and alternative energy projects. We're worried about the accelerated rate of glacier melt, the loss of biodiversity from ocean acidification and ocean temperature rise. We are worried about the loss of ecosystem services like affecting our world now. We'd like you to invest in these local businesses and alternative energy.
Sorry, the UN Foundation doesn't think divestment is a good idea right now.
But Montana is already suffering from reduced snowpack and less water in our rivers and streets, and fire seasons are getting longer. Asthma levels are rising due to pollution caused by power plants, and fracking is polluting our water supply. Don't you think the UN Foundation should care about that?
Sure, but the foundation has to put profits over socially responsible decisions.
But countless studies show that divesting is economically viable, providing higher returns and making more money for investors, while avoiding the risk of carbon belt. Colleges like Stanford, San Francisco State, and Dayton University are already benefiting divesting successfully.
Looks like the influence of climate change and fossil fuel pollution are compelling people all over the world. All this folks are trying to die, and this is just going to continue to go on.
All of these people from around the world are being impacted by climate change and fossil fuel pollution. I didn't realize the problem was this huge. I can see now why these students who want to see a better future are asking for fossil fuel divestment. And I have to conclude that they're right. I'm going to ask the UN Foundation to divest after all.
For people on the front lines around the world, climate change is a matter of life and death, and they are fighting back. Leaders from the Gwich'in Nation in northern Alaska have been fighting the oil industry in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge for years, but now they must struggle against an even more powerful force, climate change. Sarah James, a Gwich'in elder and activist, says, "Last summer there was fire all summer long. No visibility. Last spring, 20 villages got flooded, and about 60 villages never got their fish. Climate change is displacing animals and displacing us, and we're having a hard time surviving." Up in Alberta, people are fighting against the terrific climate impact of tar sands extraction and its pollution of their homes. After Alberta illegally approved mining on their land, members of the Beaver Lake Cree Nation launched a lawsuit to protest harm to their communities. Crystal Lamotman has traveled the country to tell their story. They've lost much of their traditional hunting territory to the mines, and mercury, arsenic, and lead contamination common to tar sands mining have poisoned their water and bodies. At a Keystone XL pipeline protest last April, Crystal said, "As First Nations people, we abide by natural law, and there is nothing natural about a people dying from cancer and suffering from respiratory illnesses." Pacific Island nations already face rising sea levels. Last month, the Pacific Climate Warrior Movement challenged this by using traditional canoes to blockade Australia's largest coal port for a day. Milan Lok, daughter of the president of the Marshall Islands, said, "Just last week, we had a king tide hit some villages. These tides leave people's homes destroyed, and people are displaced and have to look for new homes. Climate change is not something we learn about in school anymore. We are part of humanity, and this is not good for us." Here at UM, we will continue to press for divestment. Why? Because right now the UN Foundation is vesting companies like ExxonMobil, Chevron, and the Russian and oil and gas giant Gazprom. Divestment opens a new front against the companies which perpetuate global dependence on fossil fuels and propel climate change. President Engstrom can and should ask the UN Foundation to shift money from fossil fuels and into renewable energy for a sustainable world. Get involved if you aren't already. Sign our petition at the table by the stairs and take one of the quarter sheets people are passing out. And email President Engstrom saying you want him to support fossil fuel divestment. So when we hear concerns about the political impact of divestment at UN, let's remember its real impact on people like Sarah James, Milan Lok, and Kayo Tiro Taulu, who said that for every kilo of coal which they dig, every gas well they make, there is someone on our islands who is losing their home. We must stand with those fighting against the destruction of their homes. Divestment transcends politics, for getting out of fossil fuels and into renewable energy concerns our very survival as a species. Thank you.